Hey guys, what's up? It's Aftermath on the YouTubes. I'm fine. I'm Nug with Jimmy, Kevin, and Anthony, and we're getting into our fails this week. And we talked about it a little bit, and it sort of tied into my fail. How much we've enjoyed the new Roman Reigns and his machinations to get Adam Pearce into a match. But I'll say this: after SmackDown this week, I fully hate Roman Reigns because he sank the rise of Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura was gonna be back on top. Nakamura had a clear path through Adam Pearce. One kick. Adam Pearce hasn't been in a match in forever. And Nakamura could have been in the main event with Roman Reigns, but Roman had other plans. And here's the best part. Nakamura is one of those wrestlers that the fans love and they just want so much more for. And here it was. Here was the more. And Roman ruined it. And I know, Kevin, you said he seems to be separating himself from Cesaro, but I hope not, because Cesaro is another one of those guys that the fans love so much. And if Nakamura and Cesaro, former champs, they're still pals. If I'm Cesaro, I grab Nakamura and get into a match with Roman and Jay this week to beat into them how upset I am that Nakamura came that close and missed it. Forget you, Roman Reigns. And that was censored.
Yeah, like I gotta agree with you for the most part, Nug. I would love to see Nakamura in that main event level slot. He's one of those guys where you watch him and you keep wanting to see more of him, and I think that's due to the fact that he's just so good in the ring. He's got a lot of charisma while he wrestles in the ring. He doesn't necessarily need it to address the audience on the microphone. He kind of talks through wrestling, and it was right there. It was right there. But alas, there it goes. Instead, we have Adam Pearce, your new number one contender. Shame.
Oh, well, to play ref's advocate here, is there such a thing?
Yes, you guys are the devil, so it makes sense.
Yes, exactly. So Roman is doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to make you hate him, and he's succeeding at that. And you want more for Shinsuke Nakamura. So hopefully when it eventually does happen, that moment will become that much bigger because you want it to happen so bad. So trying to spin a positive out of a negative, that is what I'm doing right here.
Yeah, just Roman. You can't help but hate him. And a little shout out to Jay in the back, pacing, keeping his eyes on Adam Pearce the whole promo. Like, oh my God, like if he gave a signal, he was just going to jump him. It was intense.
He's ready to pounce at any time. He's like a pit bull on a very loose leash. Roman can just send him whenever he needs to be sent. Jimmy, I said how much I like that there were new tag team champs and I want there to be new challengers, but as you are about to point out, there are none.
That's the thing. I don't have a problem. I love the fact that Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, Bobby Roode, are the new tag team champions. I don't have an issue with that. My issue with who is next for these, obviously, the primetime players or whatever you call them.
Street Profits?
That's it. Boy, I went out on a limb on that. Primetime players, where'd that come from?
Only a 6-year-old reference, Jimmy. You're doing fine.
It's okay. Too many ref bumps. Obviously they'll get their obligatory title rematch. But after that, you have the Lucha Bros who haven't been built up enough yet. You mentioned Shinsuke and Cesaro, but again, they look like they're on different paths right now.
Yeah.
The tag team,
and also now they don't have the rematch rule. That's gone.
Right. So for me, I guess to put it all in a nice tight wrap package, the tag team division is sorely lacking right now. We talked about before, way back to the Survivor Series matches where you had 5 tag teams versus 5 tag teams in an elimination match, and all 10 tag teams meant something.
Yeah.
You won't be able to do that today.
It smells like opportunity.
That's right.
Yeah. I smell that too.
Like you said, go to catering and grab a partner.
I thought it was arrogance. I thought that's what I smelled, but that's Martel's old cologne. Kevin, your fail was Raw ending on a bit of a low note.
So, if you missed Raw, let's do a quick recap, shall we? This is how it went. Triple H wrestling his first match in about a year and a half. His first match on Raw since, I believe, 2016.
Yes.
Triple H enters the ring around 10:50 p.m. So I say, you better hurry up, guys, because generally this television program ends around 11 o'clock Eastern time. Triple H gets in the ring. They start beating the hell out of each other, he and Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. Triple H goes and fetches his old reliable sledgehammer. Triple H raises said sledgehammer. Ah, yes, the sledgehammer is on fire. Why is that? That's strange. Triple H puts it down. The lights go out. The lights come back on. Triple H and his flaming sledgehammer are gone. Alexa Bliss is there. Alexa Bliss proceeds to shoot Randy Orton in the face with a flamethrower of sorts. Show over. Okay, then. What happened to Triple H? Why was the sledgehammer on fire and then you couldn't see it all of a sudden? Is Randy Orton permanently blinded? I guess it's good that I'm asking what's happening, but that was, for a lot of build for Triple H wrestling his first match in a long, long time. Why wasn't he out there longer? I wanted to see more of Triple H. Why did his sledgehammer light on fire and then you couldn't see him anymore all of a sudden? I have a lot of questions why, and I'm not totally satisfied with any of the answers in my head or any of the answers that I've been given. Yeah.
My biggest issue with that whole thing, everything you described didn't sit well with me. But the biggest thing is it was Alexa Bliss who threw the fireball, for lack of a better term, at Randy Orton. So she got the retribution instead of the Fiend returning and doing it.
Jimmy, the Fiend was burned.
The Fiend is dead, Jimmy.
Please,
Jimmy.
Hey, don't count him out just yet.
There's still some life in that charred corpse.
Yeah. What'd you smell earlier? That's sorry. Yeah, that's his charred corpse still simmering underneath the ring. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a head shaker. Just a head shaker.
Yeah, it makes such little sense. A little Hadouken from Alexa Bliss ended the show.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
I don't want to see that stuff.
Anthony, well, come on now. Let's not have Kane and The Undertaker be the only people that can throw fire around. Let's let another weirdo character like Bray Wyatt do it.
Let them be.
We do live in a world where The Undertaker's an undead wizard, so Alexa Bliss can throw a fireball. It's fine. Anthony, now this is controversial that you're going to say that your fail for a wrestling show was bad wrestling.
It was a couple pointless matches. The one that struck out was just the whole. So Lashley, incredible performance actually on Riddle. The way he caught him with the one leg and basically picked him up like I do to my son on the bed, like a slam. Great. And then he gets MVP to come into a match, and then Bobby gets DQ'd anyway. You got to know when to stop. You got to know when to finish your speech. And they just kept rambling after the punchline. And anyway, it was just, I kind of threw my hands in the air. I'm like, what? And then Xavier Woods coming to the ring, just feeling awkward, no hype. He's by himself. That act doesn't work like that when you're by yourself. Anyway, in Retribution, I thought that was done. I just thought it was over. And all of a sudden there's more of them. And then they win a match, and they win a match against Xavier Woods, who's by himself. And it was like nobody benefited from it. And I just, pointless. It was pointless.
There's your mistake, AC. You thought Retribution was over. No, you were hoping.
Yes.
You were hoping.
It was definitely odd. I loved it. It seemed like the next segment started and then it went, Xavier Woods ready for some one-on-one action. And you go, why is one-on-one? And then he says, I hope you're doing well, Kofi. And then they carried on to the match and he got smashed. What I thought was odd about the Riddle wrestling 2/4 of the Hurt Business, half, some would say, is why did Riddle, he lost to the tougher guy. So he said, you know what? I can't beat the big guy, but I could beat the older guy dressed in a suit. How about that? Yeah. And then he barely even could do that, it seemed.
Yeah, well, it has been established that Riddle's not very bright.
Apparently, but he's a badass MMA fighter. And I feel like he's not smart. I feel like he's not being addressed as actually being good in the ring anymore. It's like he can be all goofy and says funny, crazy things backstage, but then all of a sudden, when he gets in the ring, he's supposed to be able to flip that switch and turn into a badass dude. But then he gets just destroyed by Lashley, who, again, great performance, but like Anthony said, and then he can't even beat up an old guy in a suit. So what are we doing with Matthew Riddle now all of a sudden?
I gotta say about Retribution as well, if you are the people that are against the establishment and the way that WWE has treated you, and Triple H was in the building last night, you missed a huge opportunity.
But they won a match.
They won a match, but they could have taken Triple H and held him for ransom. They could have done anything. That guy's in charge of stuff, and that's who you're fighting against. The guy was there. Go do something.
Or maybe
leave
they're happy
Xavier
that he
Woods
gave them
alone
the
and go
contract.
take out Triple H.
But really quick, Kevin, just to let you know, the old guy in the suit is pretty badass.
Oh yeah, he would definitely beat the hell out of me.
He's a judo player,
most people,
and he wins championships in a suit.
Yes, exactly.
He knows what to do. Guys, what were your fails this week for what the week that was in WWE? Let us know on Twitter. Use the hashtag AskAftermath. Be sure to tag Jimmy Cordero so he can tell you that he doesn't care what they are. But stay tuned. We've got trivia with Jimmy, and we've got some other WWE chat, possibly Legends chat, coming up.